How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper Mongol, and this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading when the price is going up or down. So here's a little clip of our 3D printer. There's not really any news today, so I'm just going to show you this since that's pretty much the most exciting thing that happened all day. Is we got this set up for humidity control and got an arm for the camera, so we can start doing a live feed or something in the Discord, going to see if I can get that to work. But onto the charts. So for our total, we did come up slightly, nothing too exciting though. We still have indecision candles. Our side's pretty flat, so Stochastic's starting to take a little bit of a dip. Our money flow is flat, VWAP is testing that neutral still, so it is holding bullish momentum. That is slightly good for us. If we can get another green candle, we may be able to break out of this channel and push up like we should. Our momentum does want to come up, but it is kind of riding flat as our VWAP is riding flat as well. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we are starting to take a little bit of a drop, nothing exciting yet. We are pretty flat over the last couple days. Stochastic's coming down, our RSI is pretty flat, momentum is coming out, money flow is overall coming out, so the bears are starting to gain more control. Our VWAP is testing into that neutral territory, so if our VWAP breaks down even further, our momentum wave could start to crash and our money flow could get pulled out. Over on Bitcoin futures, I'm going pretty quick since we covered all this all week, so Stochastic is making a bearish cross and starting to fall. Our RSI is going pretty flat, somewhat starting to fall. VWAP is starting to come out, testing that neutral, so if it flips bearish, we could see this momentum get sucked under and the VWAP, our money flow, start to reject away as well. If both those things happen, then we would set up another leg down. Over on Bitcoin, we're not very exciting here either. We're about 0.1%, so indecisiveness everywhere. Haven't really gone up or down much today. Stochastic is pushing down, RSI is flat, money flow is flat but trending out. Our VWAP is riding that neutral, so if our VWAP gives up the strength here, then we could see the bottom part of this flag start to play, and if we break that, we could see the flag play out. Real quick, if you haven't already, like this video if you're finding value in our content every day. Join our Discord in the links down below and get some nice Reaper apparel merch code just like I have, with our 10% off link down below as well. Also, we have some trading view and other links, so check it out. We are overall starting to trade flat on the 4 hour. Stochastic is trying to run up. Our RSI is pretty flat. VWAP is going pretty flat. Money flow is going pretty flat. So since we have this indecision candle, we don't really have much difference in our signals. They're just kind of flattening out, which could signal weakness in them. Our momentum is starting to come out. Over on the 2 hour, we have a manipulation X, so that manipulation X could carry over to the 4 hour and bring us lower. Keep an eye out for that. Stochastic is starting to fall even though we're trying to trend up, so there could be a bit of a bearish divergence that could happen. RSI is trying to go up, momentum is falling. Our VWAP is in the bearish territory, wants to go back to the bullish territory. If we can manage to flip into the bullish territory, that would help push us up. However, if we get a rejection from here and set a new low, then we could see some further bearish action. Money flow is starting to inch its way out. We did get a run up, so if we aren't able to retest these highs and come back up, we could ultimately get rejected. Over on the 1 hour, we have a lot of manipulation X's that want to bring us down. Stochastic is getting pretty beat down, wants to make a bit of a bounce around this 28, so it wants to go back into the bullish territory. If our Stochastic can flip back to the bullish territory, we could set bullish momentum on the RSI again and continue back up. However, if we reject away, then we could fall away from here. Our momentum is coming out, money flow is trying to run up, our momentum wave is getting a green dot as our VWAP is pushing against that neutral, so we could have a push to the upside here if we keep these signals going. For that to happen, we're going to want to see some strong green candles and surpass the support resistance area for the local trend. Otherwise, if we get rejected around this area, we could see further downside. Over on graph for the daily, nothing real exciting. All the coins except Algo are pretty flat. Stochastic is falling down, RSI is falling down, VWAP is falling in the bearish territory. Our money flow does want to flip bullish, but not looking too good, as our momentum's getting sucked under with a red dot as our VWAP's going into the bearish territory. Over on the 4 hour here, we are starting to push away slowly. RSI is trying to bounce up, stochastic's trying to run up. Money flow does want to make a little bit of a bounce here, so that could be good for us, and this could make a new bullish trend start. Our VWAP is looking a little wishy-washy, does want to get a bit of a bounce, so that could bring our momentum up. If the momentum and the VWAP as well as the money flow start to curl up from here, we could see further upside. The stochastic was making a pretty decent cross. We are getting a decent cross here, making a bullish divergence on the stochastic. Our RSI is pushing up. Money flow is making a bounce off that neutral, but coming back down, so keep an eye on it. Our VWAP is heading up, so the VWAP does look good, but I would keep an eye on the money flow. Our momentum is getting a green dot and pushing up as a result of the VWAP. Over on the 1 hour, we have Manipulation X that wanted to bring us down, but really didn't take us too far. Stochastic's trying to run up, RSI is trying to head up, VWAP is running up, our money flow is in the bullish territory, so we were in the bearish territory for some time. If this can maintain, we could get a new bullish trend to start, and we could see further upside. Our momentum does want to come up, but it's starting to taper out, so keep a watch on that VWAP. Over on the daily, for anchor, we're still not really going anywhere, kind of flagging right under our wedge. Our money flow is kind of tapering off. Our RSI is going kind of flat. Our stochastic's flat. Wants to make a bit of a cross, but not really going anywhere. VWAP's just flipping back and forth. Our momentum does have a red dot that wants to bring us lower, but the VWAP's not too decisive, so the momentum wave isn't going to be either. Over on the 4 hour, we do have Manipulation X's that want to bring us down, so keep an eye out for that. Stochastic is trying to push down. Our RSI is starting to roll off. VWAP is starting to sharply decline, so that is a little worrisome, as that's giving our red dot on our momentum, and the momentum is starting to come out. Our money flow is in the bullish territory, but we're at about 6, meeting resistance. If we get rejected here again, we could fall into the bearish territory and stay there, as we've been rejected several times now. Over on the 2 hour, we are again Manipulation X's and gaps, just like usual. If we look, we probably filled last night's gaps. So we had the gaps there, filled that one, had the gap there, filled that one. We are trying to fill this gap here, so now we have a gap below us that we likely would fill and could come back down and start another downtrend, so watch out for that. Stochastic is falling, RSI is trying to head up, momentum is starting to come out, our VWAP is overall starting to fall, testing that neutral. Our VWAP's trying to head up, so we are trying to make some bullish moves, but we are in a tight spot here and we could see them fall away. Over on the 1 hour, we have a huge gap here to fill, so we likely will drop down. We filled all these gaps back here, filled these gaps. RSI is trying to head up, stochastic's trying to run up, VWAP's trying to head up, our momentum is trying to come up. Our money flow is testing our lows at about 23, trying to curl up, so we could see it break into the bullish territory if it's able to maintain bullish momentum, but then that would leave a big gap. So the likely case would be to come back down, swing down, fill the gap, and then maybe come up. We also have a gap here to fill yet, so keep an eye for those. Over on XRP for the daily, we're pretty flat here, so we could make a bear flag. Keep an eye out for that. RSI is starting to fall, money flow is starting to fall, stochastic's starting to crash, VWAP's starting to go into the bearish territory, and our momentum is about to get a red dot as a result, so we're not looking too good, especially on this higher volume node area on our volume profile. Over on the 4 hour, RSI is trying to bounce, stochastic's falling, VWAP's trying to make a bounce, our money flow overall is trending up, so that is good for us. If it can push through that neutral and break strong in the bullish territory, we could start a new uptrend. Our momentum does want to make a bit of a move up, but we have a red dot bringing us down currently. Our VWAP is getting a curl, so keep an eye on that to break through as well. Over on the 2 hour, you can see we're just trading pretty flat. RSI is starting to go kind of round off. Stochastic's doing the same. Money flow is starting to reject away. We do have a bullish trend. We tested a bearish trend and made a bounce, so that is good. If we can do that again, we could maintain this bullish trend, and it could carry over if it's able to gain some strength. Momentum is trying to come up. We do have a red dot that brought us down. VWAP's trying to run up pretty strong, so if our VWAP can get through the neutral, that could help push our momentum up and give our money flow enough strength to make a bounce. Over on the 1 hour, we have many manipulation exits that want to bring us down. Our RSI is starting to curl, Stochastic's starting to curl, VWAP's trying to run up. Money flow is in the bearish territory, but making higher lows, trying to break through that neutral. Keep an eye on here. If we can flip this neutral and go bullish, then we could see further upside. However, if we flip back down and test bearish territory, we could get further drops. Momentum does want to come up as our VWAP's trying to push up, but that VWAP's looking a little sketchy, so it could come out. Keep an eye out for that as well. Finally, for algo on the daily, again, if you haven't liked the video already, subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment if you want to see anything else, like any other coins. Or we could do some stocks if you're interested in those. But we are bouncing off this point control, trying to trend higher toward this range where I warned about. If we get a rejection from here, we could push. We have this value area node here, so we could get rejected. If we do get rejected from here, we could break through our point control, head back lower. Keep an eye out on that. But if we continue our trajectory on the lower time frames, then we could break through our value area high and push through this node and make this support later possibly. Stochastic is trying to head up, RSI is trying to head up, our VWAP is trying to make a bounce, and momentum's trying to come up. Our VWAP, a little shaky, has a divergence on it, so I'd be a little sketched out. Same with our Stochastic, has bearish divergence. Money flow is trying to come up, so that is good for us. Over on the 4 hour, we are trying to come up pretty decently. We did get a reversal arrow that just shot us up. Stochastic's running up, money flow's making a good move up. VWAP did run up pretty strong. Our momentum made a decent run up, but they're starting to taper off, as well as that money flow, so keep an eye on all these indicators as they're starting to roll away and could flip into the bearish territory if we're not careful. Over on the 2 hours, Stochastic's getting tight, RSI is pointing down, momentum starting to come out. Our VWAP is starting to go toward that neutral and could test that bearish trend. If we do that, we'll get a red dot momentum and momentum will start to fall. Money flow is starting to sharply come out. We got rejected from about 11, so that's not a good sign as we came out to a resistance area and got shot down. So we could see further downside, especially since we're pretty overbought down there. Over on the 1 hour, Stochastic's falling pretty hard. RSI is trying to make a move up, but overall losing some strength here. Momentum's coming out. Our money flow is trying to make a strong push. So if this can continue, that can carry into the other time frames, but we're going to need the strength to maintain and not start to taper off. Our VWAP is trying to break through that neutral, but just can't manage to maintain bullish momentum and keeps coming back down. So if that VWAP doesn't break through strongly, then we could ultimately get rejected from the zone as well. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.